to the channel. I hope you all are having a good evening. So I wanted to do a little tour of the game room, an update kind of for everyone, and answer any questions that people might have. And here you guys can see this is the Capcom Big Blue mod. Currently running Street Fighter 03 Upper. Kind of a controversial version of Alpha 3, just because they changed some of the mechanics of it. And here is the marquee that Angel made for me and his designer, Mr. Profits Designs. And they just did the sickest job on this thing. I mean, it looks incredible. So I gave them a mock-up based on a video that I saw where somebody had this on a Gen 2 Big Blue, and I was like, yo, you gotta do this for me. Or something close to it, and he did it exactly how I wanted it and even better. So mad props. I'm gonna leave a link to him in the description. It's also in my short that I posted today. But here we go. So here's a lot of the mods that I did to this are really simple. This is a Suzo Hap coin door, and you can actually push these buttons. What is that? What is that? And on the other side, I have the keys for it, but you can lock it and open it and close it, which gives you access in and out of the cab. There's a bar that goes across there that I actually cut, and then I clipped this onto it. And I'm going to show more about that in another video. But basically, authentic Suzo Hap coin door for a MAME cab, which you can get off of tmolding.com. So, hey, what's up, Ezekiel? And then down here we have the 4-inch riser booster. And then this is Arcade Mod-Up's custom control panel. And one of the things that's really stands out on this is the thickness of this plexi. So if you look at the thickness of it compared to like a standard Arcade1up plexi, it's almost double the thickness. And so it's really nice, and it's like heavy duty. It doesn't scratch or anything like that. It's nice quality. And these are both Sanwa sticks, and these buttons are like their standard buttons, so they're kind of like Sanwa buttons without the switches, I guess. And this is the 19-inch monitor, and this thing is just really nice. It looks good from all angles, unless you're getting beneath it, and then it kind of gets a little bit of washout, but it's not even bad. But anytime you're over it, or left and right, it looks great. Well, I can't exactly say, actually, but just take whatever the standard height is and then add 4 inches to it. That would be my quickest answer to give you something accurate. So anyways, and then I have the Capcom stickers on the side, and then on the inside it's running an X86, or no, X96 Air, and that's a quad-core Android system, basically. But again, this is 03 Upper, and it runs flawlessly as far as I can tell. I have had a couple times where it's kind of had like some hiccups during gameplay, but it's nothing astronomical. It's literally like a second pause, and it's usually only happens on the very first round ever. And then everything runs smooth after that. So I don't know. But anyways, so that is the Big Blue. And then we'll move over here. And we have, I'll have to check it out, Ezekiel, because I might not have seen it because I have my DM set up a certain way, but I'll look for it. And Dragon's Lair, this is another one that I really, really like from Arcade1up. And, you know, there's a lot of like, I think, repetitiveness to some of the 1-up cabs. But these are the ones that are really special to me because, like, I mean, good luck finding a Dragon Slayer cab. And you can build one And you know, there are options, but like good luck finding one like this that you can just buy and bring home. Um, so technically I do have MK, console fanboy, Zohar. But one of the things that is just so awesome is that you have this original style scoreboard. Like, yeah, the speaker grills are a little bit different, but the inlay of the monitor and everything, and just the overall feel of it really does play and feel like the arcade, which also sets it apart from the iArcade version. I mean, the iArcade version is really nice, but this monitor, even though it's a little bit smaller, way beats out the iArcade. And then the fact that you have this right here, and this is just for this game, okay? I have an iArcade. I really like my iArcade, but I'm just saying this version of Dragon's Lair is trying not to buy. This version of Dragon's Lair is just the GOAT. I love it. I do need to put some LED strips down here so that I can get some light behind those coin doors. Moving on to Tron, Tulsa Arcades right here. Um, they have my favorite bezel for this mod. I think that theirs looks the nicest. Um, and the only thing that you don't get is like, it's not actually like the glowing kind of paint, but to me, it's totally like negligible because of the colors. So it doesn't bother me at all because you still get like the black light bouncing off of everything. Um, will I get a waterfall? I don't know. I think they still have some perfecting to do. Thanks, JC. If you guys don't follow JC, go check out his content. He does a lot of cool reviews, like really nice cinematography, and he's got a huge collection of arcade cabs. So definitely give him a check and a sub. But anyways, the Tron cab is just has that awesome artwork. It has the form factor of Tron. And while the stick does feel like it's gonna like snap off sometimes, I mean that's really an easy fix. But um, the only problem I've ever had with this is that the spinner actually broke. It just stopped working. But Arcade1up sent me another one, no issues, and they got it to me quick. And then some of you might have seen my mod video where I showed this on Game Time, and then it's on my channel as well. But I basically added an inert coin door to. So this one right here does not have a riser booster on it, but Dragon's Lair does. And with the riser booster, they're exactly the same height. And going over to Donkey Kong, and this is an original serialized Donkey Kong, but they're almost the same height. So, and then here's my Donkey Kong watch up here. And this baby came out of a house fire. It was in a literal house fire. So I got it, I don't even remember now. I think it was like 650 and just refinished it. Got a new marquee. This marquee actually came from, oh my gosh, what's it called? And thank you. And is it Mike's Arcade? I think it's Mike's Arcade, but I got a couple things from there. So this was one. And then I got these buttons from Mike's Arcade. And this is the original control panel. So I just took everything apart and cleaned it up and polished this off. And then I printed out new stickers myself. Not this. This is the original like backing of this. It's actually printed on here. But I printed this out and this and like this sticker right here. And then cleaned everything else up. So the coin mechs and all that work. Everything works. You even have the coin box in there still. And then the joystick, I need to get a new spring, but it works. It legit like works without any serious issues. So anyways, but this is the real deal and I love it. And the CRT works. Everything works great. So side art, you can see right there. And then same thing over here. And the side panels are super clean. This is all new T molding. So anyways, got a lot of help from the Rexer and Retro Ralph on this one. but it turned out great. Plays great. And then here's my iArcade. So some of you might have seen the newer video I had on this. I actually printed this one myself, but the side art and everything else, it came with it. And this is one of those ones where you actually have to put the side art on yourself. And the person who I got it from put it on backwards. Fortunately for me, I just peeled it off and then reverse sides, and somehow it didn't like tear it up, and it turned out really good. So I just made sure I didn't get any crazy air bubbles. This part right here I never removed, but it wasn't like bad, so I didn't want to screw with it. And then I polished this off, and there's still like, you can still kind of see like some surface scratches on it. I was thinking about getting like an overlay protector for it, but yeah. So I love it though. I am super stoked. I think it's a great deal that I got on it. And I mean, it's a really neat cab. There are things about it that I think they could do better, and that I think these cabs have a huge potential. So I hope they keep going and keep improving that. And then if we turn over here, we've got our Pac-Man and Galaga class of 1981. And this is actually a Joe Zabo, which took like 8 months to get to me. I did have one of Angel's marquees on here, but I broke it. Like, it was my fault. I broke it. It was made really well and it looked really good, but I broke it because I was trying to like readjust it. And yeah, so I don't have anything else to say about that other than sad pandas. But and I'm sorry if I'm not catching all the chat here, guys, but I'm just trying to shoot some of this out while I'm shooting from the hip, I guess. But Star Wars, this has Glenn's yoke on it. And I mean, this thing is just solid. Like, look at this right here. That's machined. Like, this thing is a beast. It doesn't have the Atari logo on it. And that's something that you can easily fix. I just don't, it's not a big deal to me. It doesn't bother me. Um, but you can see like the metal plate in here and the screws. So it's really, really nice. It feels like the arcade version when you're playing the game on the 1-Up. It makes a difference. So anyways, this is kind of like my retro section over here. And then the iArcade is a good fit for the middle because it's like you're going between retro and then like new wave. So this is like my 80s alley over here. So you come in over here and then you meet halfway with the arcade, and then you kind of come over here where it's, 90s era games, and you've got the Killer Instinct, Ridge Racer, and this one right here is acrylic. This was made by Angel, and this is another one. It looks super sick. So what's up, Mike? He printed this on acrylic for me, and it's actually stuck onto the original marquee. So I just slapped it on there, and I like the way it looks because I've seen pictures of the original, and I remember seeing it in the arcade. But actually looking at the marquee in pictures, this is like very much what the original looked like. So it looks good on there. I really like it. Ridge Racer has a nice marquee off the bat. Um, and then Rave Racer is one of my favorite games to run on this cab. So um, I really like it. I got it when it was on sale. Well, technically I didn't, but then I exchanged it for one when it was on sale. It's a really great cab. Like, my kids love it. I love playing it. Um, and it's just a cool cap. So if you get it for like 350, it's a good deal. I haven't had any issues with it. I know some people have complained about these breaking, but I haven't had any issues, and I have kids playing on it. And also on Killer Instinct, I have a 4-inch riser booster, so it brings it up in height. The only thing that is kind of sucks is the control panel isn't slanted. By the way, these are ILs, and these are HAP HAP style buttons with zippy switches, I think. Um, so yeah, and the display on this and the emulation is really good. It's really spot on. So um, then over here we have Shinku, which I'm returning because I'm getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I just like, man, I don't know. I'm gonna save that one for a show, but um, yeah, I think that I feel like I've kind of been just disappointed with my whole experience with the Shinku. Like, it really is a beautiful cab. Like, overall, it's a nice looking cab, and I have a 4-inch riser booster on here. This one is the perfect height. The control deck is like right where it should be. It's on a slant. I mean, the artwork's beautiful. Everything, it's just nice. But unfortunately, I just haven't been that happy with it. Wah. So here's my MVSX X, and yeah, I'll have to talk about it on one of my shows. But oh wait. But anyways, um, my MVSX. This is another awesome one, and it's got the high-low stick in the back USB port. So I'm working on something right here because I wanted to remove the coin door. So I know that this is like really basic, but it was just like the starter of my design. So I'm working on something that's going to be a little bit smaller, and it's going to have more black around the edges and then red and then white. So, and then yes, this is the stock MVS riser. And the only thing is this, and then the USB stick in the back with high-low stick. So it is. But I love this thing. It's great. And then over here, we have Simpsons with Josebo's topper, which also took like 8 months to get to me because, you know, I'm just a peasant and we all are, and you're not a priority. So if you order anything from Josebo, it's going to take you like 8 months, and then you're going to get an email from his wife saying that they'll ship it out in 2 more weeks, every 2 weeks. So, anyways, Simpsons. This is just a really fun one, and I've got Glenn's GRS light up trackball in there, and yeah, it's a fun one. It definitely gets a lot of play. That's another one that the kids really like. And so that's kind of like where I am at. Now, with that being said, I do have this bad boy over here, but this is going away, unfortunately. Probably, most likely, 90% sure. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's another thing I'll talk more about on another episode of my show. But, anyways, you know what? I think it's way better than the Shinku as far as the software goes, although you don't get online play. So, 5 month mark, then it took 2 more months. Yeah, exactly. Like it's super nice, but in my opinion, it's not even worth the wait because you're just like so, at least me, I was like so irritated by the time I got it. And I mean, I ordered a sticker from them that's taken 3 months to get here. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care, dude. I just don't care what the reason is. That's like not cool. You've had my money for that long? Nah. Anyways, yeah. So try not to gripe about it too much, but it is annoying. So all the ones that have riser boosters on them are KI, Shinku, and then Big Blue, and then Star Wars because I did it custom because this was originally sit down, and then my Class of 81 and Dragon's Lair. So the big thing for me about these cabs is that they're like control specific. What's up, Anthony? Thanks. Is that they're very control specific. So Star Wars, yoke, you know, and you get that whole feel from it. And then you got Tron, you know, And you can use this to play discs of Tron because it's the adjustable one. And then you got Tron Stick. And then Dragon's Lair, you have the scoreboard, the marquee, the whole feel of the machine. So, JC, I'm going to look at that in just a second. And then I know that this isn't control specific. Oh my God, my dogs are screaming at me. I know that this isn't control specific, but it is a vertical cab that has a lot of games that I just really love. So that's why I have this one. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to, let's see. I'm pulling up the chat. Just give me a second. There we go. Is it safe here? I don't know, P-dubs. Is it? Um, let's see. Can you give another shot of MVSX? Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. And P-dubs, look at this amazing marquee that I had Angel make. He and Mr. Profits designed this, and it is the sickest marquee ever made for the Big Blue. That's all I can say. But here we go, MVSX. And so you can kind of see. Now, again, the Street Fighter has a 4-inch booster on it. So, and that brings it up to the perfect height, in my opinion. And do me a favor, guys, if you're really enjoying this, please hit the like button for me, just so that it gets it out there and other people can see the content and kind of, have inspiration and get ideas. That's one of the reasons why I do this, is because I love to share like my ideas and my setup so that people get inspiration. Because I know when I first started on here, I was looking for inspiration and for ideas and to see how other people had set things up. So I would very much appreciate it. Your support is always appreciated. Um, Thanks, Ezekiel. So I am going to momentarily, I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to leave you guys right here for a second because my dogs literally are going to freak if I don't let them out. So this is so embarrassing that they would do this to me right now. I'm ashamed. Here we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a spot for this here. Donkey Kong. You guys hang out with Donkey Kong. I'll keep talking though. So, anyways, I mean, you guys feel that though, right? Like a lot of people come on there when you're first starting out on the arcade scene and you're looking for inspiration and, seeing what other people are doing and how they're setting their things up. And I think that that's one of the things that really got me into it. So, okay, I'm back. So, anyways, yeah, and then these are Gobi lights, by the way. So I think this was one set that I actually got. Thank you, John. And do the dog walk live? Yeah, so these are Gobi light bars, and you can control them from your phone, which is really cool. Amazon, Gobi light bars on Amazon. But you control them with your phone, and you can set them up to look however you want. So it's really cool. Yeah, Neo Turf Masters is such an awesome game. You're so lucky you have a real one, Mike. um, Hardware is in Big Blue. So the Big Blue hardware is going to be, it comes with a package from Arcade1up and P-dubs. I know, like whatever you have like beef, but I just want to say that their customer service experience is like a gajillion times improved. And I had a really, really good experience with them. And they actually replaced my monitor, sent me a separate bezel for the monitor. And like they were super nice. I think it's the lady that's running it over there. Super, super nice. But anyways, inside of it, what they come with now is an X96 Air, which is an Android-based system. I think it's got about 4 gigs of RAM and a quad-core A55. So it's capable of running games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and, Street Fighter 03 Upper. And it's a much cleaner setup than what they were doing like originally with the Gen 1s. So thanks for stopping by, JC. Have a good night. Um, and I was really actually impressed with it. So, uh, right. Yeah. Right. I mean, I actually didn't have like the most pleasant experience the first time I used them when I had a Gen 1 cab like years ago. So, but anyways, I don't, the main reason that I went with them, and if anybody's looking to do something like this, it might not be a bad option, but they have the 19-inch monitor package and the control deck, and you can tell them how you want it, and they just do it exactly how you ask them to. And it comes with the system, and everything's just basically ready to plug in. And so for that, it cost me about 450 out the door. But you're talking about 450 with a 19-inch monitor, a custom control deck, and the system with all the games preloaded on it. So that's a pretty good deal, in my opinion. I mean, the cost for me to do all that stuff on my own would be not far off from that. Um, yeah, and they're really actually were really fast with shipping and even the replacements. It's not better than a BOE, but it's better than a 17-inch BOE. Let's put it that way. But look, the viewing angles are really, really good. There's no washout. So as long as you're over it, there's not going to be any washout at all. But if you go way down here, you get a little bit of washout. But it's not even that bad if you're actually looking at it. It actually looks worse on camera. Um, so I never have any issues with it. It's got like here, you guys can see. So even if I go like this, come on, even if I go like this, it looks really good. I mean, it's really good. So I love it. I think it's an awesome upgrade. And I mean, they're selling these for, if you just wanted to buy the monitor, it's 169 or 179 bucks, I think. And that's not bad at all. So, anyways, this was like kind of my big project that I've been putting forth a lot of effort into. And the only thing I could say that I would want to maybe do to it, I feel like this would be the absolute last thing that could really polish it off, is to get one of Bobby Boo's um, big blue control decks. The same color and design and everything, but just with his signature design, because I think that that would just be it. So, but other than that, I've had people say like, "Oh, you didn't put any graphics on the side," and I'm like, "No, that's not how Big Blue looks." So, I mean, it's personal preference, but for me, I wanted it to mirror how an actual Big Blue looks, which, Capcom stickers on the side, yellow or red, and then whatever your marquee is going to be. I thought that this was the coolest option because it's got so many Capcom fighters in it, right? So, and then if you look at actual pictures of a Big Blue, um, right, if you look at actual pictures of a Big Blue, the ones that weren't Street Fighter Big Blues usually had black control decks like Punisher, Darkstalkers, stuff like that. So this really does mimic a full-size Big Blue as far as like the look and feel of it. Um, Obviously, it's a little bit smaller, but it's kind of like the what did I call it? I was talking to Mike of all trades about this. I said it's my statement piece. So it really is just kind of like my favorite one in here, though, because I'm a huge Capcom freak. So um, yeah, but I mean, Angel and Mr. Profits did a killer job on this thing. I just can't get over how good it looks. So yeah, no complaints. And the first one I got fried out, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and they just sent me another one. So, and I sent them the other one back, and they gave me a shipping label, like no question, no problem. So it was really cool. and I haven't had any issues with this one at all. I love it. And it's crazy going from a 19-inch on an Arcade1up to another Arcade1up, like for example, Shinku, it feels so much smaller. It's weird. But anyways, yeah. So those are like a lot of the mods that I have. And I'm trying to like make sure I've kind of like unleashed everything on you guys so that you can kind of get an idea of what I've done to really make this place feel comfortable and make the games feel as close to the original arcades as possible. So, and yeah, no problem, Jim. Right, yeah, their customer service lady is really nice. So that my experience was really good, and this was in the last couple weeks. And like I said, if there was any issues, they were very quick to get it fixed. Um, but yeah, definitely 19 inches is mad better. So this is Glenn's. So Thundersticks is his website, but it's a GRS yoke, and this thing is just heavy duty, and it literally feels and works like the actual arcade version. So that was what I modded there. And that was the only thing. Well, technically, and this is a sit down originally. So I did buy a riser from Walmart because they sell them for like 44 bucks. And then I got a booster for it. And that put it up to the right height for me. So that those are the two things that I did. But I didn't feel like I wanted to replace the marquee because even though there's a little bit of gray in the blacks, it doesn't look bad. Everything on camera looks a little bit brighter, but in person, if you're looking at it, it actually looks really nice. So these are the boosters from Buy Stuff Store, and they've got something on Etsy. If you go on there, just look up 4-inch riser booster for Arcade1up, and you will find them. Yeah, no problem. No problem. So, and then my iArcade, I think, well, I've gotten a few new games, but Galacticon is like the newest one. Let's see. So I've got a lot of Sega games on here, and I've got a couple of their new gen games like Galacticon and all that stuff. Um, so yeah. Are you talking about for the Big Blue or for Star Wars? And then KI is the marquee and the IL joysticks and hat buttons with zippies. No crazy mods here though. I did put a riser on the MVSX, and this is a stock riser. I mean, it's one that you can buy directly from Unico, and it's got 2 level adjustments on it. This is the lowest level adjustment. The other one is like really high. So it definitely is perfect with the riser. And at that height for me, but the riser is a great one. Where's my Legends Ultimate? I don't have one of those. I have my own Legends Ultimate out in my garage, I guess, but I'm not going to go out there right now. Um, I have been really talking about getting a Legends Ultimate. It's just that I don't want to pay that much for one, so um, I don't feel like it would be worth it to me. Not because it's not good, just because of what I already have. So yeah, but here is a kind of rundown of what I've got on here. And this is in my Street Fighter category, but so we've got all the Street Fighter 3s, and they have like console ones mixed in here, which is fine. I just haven't set up the custom list yet, but and so you can see when it's like the arcade version. Um, But they've got all the Street Fighters, all the Versus series, and it's just really accessible, very easy to use, very comfortable. And they even have, hold on, let me see if I can get to it. Yeah, they even have Street Fighter 02 Alpha, which, if you guys didn't know this, Street Fighter 02 Alpha is actually Street Fighter 02 Dash, or Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. Is pretty much the same game. There are some differences. The console has a few more things, but this is pretty much the arcade version of Street Fighter 02 Dash. So, fun fact for you. But anyways, there's a really good selection of games on there, and it's good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Cabs need it. Oh, all my cabs need it. Yeah. No, it definitely does make a difference. Like, it gives you I mean, it just makes the cab feel bigger. Like, I don't have any other way to put it. But getting the riser boosters on a lot of these cabs really does make a difference. It just makes everything feel bigger. I know I just said that, but it does. And like I was saying, like, these are the same height, and then, Donkey Kong is right here, so you can see that they're about the same height. The only thing it really has on them is just width. So, yeah, totally. And then, most of the games in the island are a little bit shorter, but then you've got Big Blue right here, just, standing out. So I'll go out a little bit so you guys can see kind of just how it looks. Um, and it's almost like this doesn't do it justice. Like, when you're standing in front of it in this room, it definitely, it looks even nicer, I think. I mean, the flow of it feels really good, but yeah, I couldn't manage any more than this for sure. Um, so Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will be the last thing I get. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to try it out and see what it's like. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep it because, I mean, yeah, things to be talked about. I'm making notes in my head because I don't want to give away too much since this is just a Q&A about the game room itself. But anyways, yeah, so if you guys have any more questions, like, let me know. We've got about, we'll say, like 7 more minutes. So, um, I don't think there's like a preference for it, but they definitely they know which ones they like, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I'm hoping for that too. Um, I'm hoping for that too. So, but they definitely love the competitiveness of like Simpsons bowling, and then the racing games. And it's funny, they actually it's like half and half. They like two of the older ones, and they like Simpsons and Ridge Racer. And then the older ones that they like are Donkey Kong and Tron, really. So, hold on, I'm gonna catch up here. Room looks great. Risers help. Thanks, Danny. Width feels more like a cocktail size. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Smart kids. Yeah. You think iArcade is ever going to? Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. That is a really good question. Do you think they're ever going to have Capcom support? Capcom is not limited to Arcade1up at all. So I do really wonder if they're going to get it ever, if they're going to land it. I wonder if it's like a thing where Capcom's like, well, you guys need to have like a certain number of sales projections for us to license games to you. And I think it might be something like that. The only way that that would even be a possibility for me, T, is if it looked identical and didn't have any issues. If it looked identical and didn't have any issues, then yes. But I mean, if you've seen a 720 cap, you know how intricate they are and how detailed and special they are. So Capcom could license the console side, gets around the ROM license. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm thinking too. So, I mean, there are options. It's just, you know, I guess it's really just dependent on the company itself, and how successful they are. So, right, right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if they're big enough to be able to get that. I think One Up was kind of lucky because they were one of the first ones on the scene, and that was like one of their first cabs. So Third Strike plus John is like Mr. Capcom. So um, Third Strike cab. Well, I don't know if they're going to do a Third Strike cab, but John has talked about, he's thrown around the idea of a second gen Big Blue that would have like the alpha games and possibly the SF3s. So, what's up, Pliskin? Um, but that's why this is like my thing, and this is why I made it a project, was because I just wanted a Capcom Big Blue that had all the fighters on it. Like I don't want to keep on buying every freaking fighting cab that comes out. I mean, the whole point of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for me is just solely just to be able to play those games online. But I don't even like the experience of playing games online on my Arcade1up cabs per se. So I don't know. But I think that the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cab for me is also a big time, like it's a collector's item for me, even more than it is like for the functionality aspect of it. And I can play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on this or on my arcade in the garage. So it's not like I need it to play the game. But anyways, the Big Blue for me is, it just kind of ties the knot with my Capcom fighter collection. Thanks, Pliskin. Canceling. Yeah, I've actually seriously considered canceling mine too, but then I'm like, no, because of the collector's aspect. And that is the sole, like, that's the only reason that I'm keeping it and holding on to it. And I want to be able to get it right when it comes out. So that's just me though, you know. And there, it's just the FOMO. So yeah, I have to block this. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Boom. Bye. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Variety is king. That's how I plan. Right. So, but I mean, like, it's only FOMO if you're letting it be FOMO for you. Like, for me, I'm pre ordering one because I want it on launch day. Like, just, I don't want to deal with any problems. Like, I just want it when it comes out, when it gets shipped immediately. And I want it because I'm a collector and lover of Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, paraphernalia. So for me, it is something that I must have. Like I want in my collection. And the funny aspect of it is that I may or may not keep it depending on how it is. But I highly doubt, there is a possibility, but I highly doubt that I'll get rid of it. Either way, I mean, it doesn't negate the fact that I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and that's why I'm getting one. Period. And I want it right away. So I know that they're doing like another run, or whatever they're talking about. All that stuff is stuff that I'll probably get into details about on one of my upcoming episodes of my live stream. But yeah, I mean, the design of the cab is totally like irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. And here's why. Because what they're doing is a release of something on an Arcade1up system. It really like comes down to whether or not you want it personally. It's not going to they've we already know it's just not going to replicate the arcade design perfectly. And it is what it is. And I don't blame people for not liking it. I think they should have done it in a big blue. But regardless, you're still getting a licensed release that is licensed by Capcom and supposed to have online play and all these things. And it's pretty much going to be like a collector's item. That's why I want it. So it doesn't excuse anything or, change anything about anybody else's opinions. That's just my opinion and my feeling about it. So, I mean, it's just for me. I don't give a crap about Capcom. They should have them and Marvel being all stingy because, corpo mindset and all that. Yeah, I mean, Pliskin, you're not alone. You're not alone. So, you guys, I'm sorry. You're going to have to excuse me. My dogs are barking again. I got to let them in. Hang out with Donkey Kong. I'll keep talking. They're being so obnoxious. I can't even with them tonight. And they only behave like this, like if I'm doing something. They're like children, basically. So yeah, there they go. Nope. Anyways, yeah. So, oh, we're at 8:15. Wow. Well, you guys have any other questions or anything about mods? Any of the games in here? Um, I'll do one last walkthrough here. So, quick one. Um, Adding dampeners. Yeah. But you know what the other big problem is there's issues with the online play. There's issues with the ROMs, and it just is what it is. So, do you miss your Big Blues online? Nope, not at all. And plus, you know, no, I just don't miss it. But there's other ways to play online as well. Um, and for me, none of these ever had online play to begin with. So there you go, Pliskin. None of these ever had online play to begin with. So to be honest, like it was never a big deal to me. The online aspect of it is just a fun option that's there. I'm just not serious about it. So, anyways, one last walkthrough. We got Simpsons with Zabo, and then Glenn's GRS trackball, and we have MVSX running high-low stick, and then down here the MVSX licensed riser, 4-inch booster riser on Shinku, and then we've got Killer Instinct riser booster, IL joysticks, hat buttons, zippy switches, no mods here, just a fun racing title. Oh, and of course, I never got rid of this. And then we've got the iArcade, which is our in-betweener from Retro Row, is what I call it. We've got an original Donkey Kong. And then we've got another Josebo, only because I broke Angels. And Star Wars with Glenn's GRS yoke, which is amazing. And then we've got Tron with Tulsa Arcade's S-Panel mod. And nothing else too crazy in there. Oh, look at that. I totally forgot about that. And then we've got Dragon's Lair, no mods here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And Bonafide, cool. Let me know how it is when I see you again. And those are the major things. Oh, and Big Blue, obviously, Angel's Marquee, Suzo Hap Coin Door, and Arcade Mod Up Kit. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for joining, and I will see you guys soon. All right, peace out.